what are you doing?
These are speed holes. They make the ship go faster. Hum.
Yeah, and for the marginal weight reduction, you've seriously degraded the overall structural integrity of the airframe.
Huh?
I'm saying we should go make some money so we can afford a NOS turbopod for the ship.
What's that?
Oh, just fly the ship, you oblivious bastard.
Hey, choking hazard. You'd think that with all this steampunk technology kicking around that we'd have invented some kind of wireless communication system, thereby making all this totally obsolete, wouldn't you? Shut up.
Okay, Mission 11 to the Mad Thane estate.
Mad Thane? What kind of name is Mad Thane?
He's some crazy knob. Thinks he's Sean Connery or something. Totally nuts.
Look at that, an emo man turning. That flies nearly as emo as his old man.
Heimlich me!
In the name of the guild, I give permission for the discipline and Naturae navies to senselessly slaughter each other for the macabre amusement of she who must be obeyed, lest I be whipped to a bloody ruin. Repeatedly.
Wonder what he means by that.
My existence is agony.
Wow, a fountain! You know, if I was given to introspection, I would bemoan the injustice of a system of government that allows the nobility to waste the precious lifeblood of humanity on a purely aesthetic display, while the lower classes die young from malnutrition, heavy metal poisoning, waterborne bacterial disease, or just some ridiculously ill-conceived notions about aerial warfare.
How did you get your name again, Lavie?
Who cares? Hey, watch it!
Jeeves, impeccable timing as always. How about a W and S? Certainly, sir.
Please, you simply must get this medication to my husband, or else he gets terribly imbalanced. It's the inbreeding, you see. The nobility have pots of money, but not two brain cells to rub together, I'm afraid. They don't call my husband Duke drooling out of both sides of his mouth Thane for nothing, you know. So he's a drummer?
But you seem pretty stable, ma'am. Madam is a lascivious nymphomaniac. Incidentally, I would wash your hands thoroughly after handling that.
Oh, gross. Now I'm going to fillet a whole soccer team. Too much information! Please get me out of here.
Don't worry, I'll make sure Child Services hears about this.
I am William Wallace, and I see a whole army of my countrymen here in
He's mixing up his impressions, by Jove.
All
All right, you fine chappies, listen up. Your admiral's a mad Scot who thinks he's English, badly impersonating an anti-Semitic Australian, acting the role of an angry Scot. Compared to that, valor and chivalry will be your greatest weapons.
I really wish that didn't make more sense than standing on the fully exposed gun deck, pointlessly exchanging volleys of small arms fired with the marines of the enemy's ships for absolutely no comprehensible reason.
For long, as all casualties will of course be jettisoned with the privy waste, in accordance with chivalry's code of haltus prognatus iniquitas.
Sir, I'm not receiving recognition from the audience for that joke, sir.
It doesn't matter. Now remember, chaps, we expect at least 60% casualties because rum rations are short as it is. I mean, fight well and do your best. Yes, that's what I meant.
Not guilty.
Oliver Stone hates Vietnam veterans. Oliver Stone hates Vietnam veterans. Oliver Stone hates Vietnam veterans. Oliver Stone hates Vietnam veterans!
Hey, Klaus?
I know they have cannons, but the plot goes in the toilet if you ask why they haven't used them yet. Wow, when they said army of one, I didn't realize quite how literally they meant it.
Sir, there's a Vanship courier requesting to land. Ask them if they brought any vermouth.
They've given us permission to land on the aft deck. Then they're adding something about being shaken, but don't copy that.
The sky, it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. It's smoke and it's flames now, and the frame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. Oh, the humanity.
What was that? What's going on?
Just a wild guess, sir, but I think they might not be quite as stupid as we are.
But they aren't allowed to do this. It's against the regulations, not to mention being terribly unchivalrous.
Yes, sir. But, sir, do you think they know that?
But the chivalry! Won't somebody please think of the chivalry?
Oh, come on, you're dressed like the French. What did you think was going to happen?
Last Exile Abridged.
Why do dead things make me so hot?
Damn, these guys suck at life.
Yeah, totally.
If that tube isn't a martini shaker, then get the bloody hell out of here.
Just try and stop us. Ding, 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 ding.
Smells like tuna. Well, looks like drooling out of both sides of his mouth Thane strikes again. Due to the incompetence of Duke drooling out
Just
of both
a
sides
moment,
of
if this is an abridged series, isn't there any way to abridge that nickname of his?
Duke Batshit Thane?
Very good, continue.
Yes. Due to the incompetence of the Batshit Thane fleet, the Disith will soon conquer Minigeese.
Well, who cares? If the Disith can stomach them, they're welcome to it.
Sir?
Minigeese taste far too gamey. I much prefer the jumbo geese with a little garlic butter rub, maybe a dash of rosemary.
No, Minigeese is a province of Anatare, my lord.
Oh, that Minigeese. Well, that's somewhat more relevant, isn't it? Especially considering that I'm the Emperor of Anatare while you're the guild defector whom I appointed. You spoke?
No, my lord.
I just wanted to make that clear. If I'm not the Emperor and you're not Prime Minister, then this scene doesn't make any sense, you understand?
Very good, sir. Therefore, shall I have Miss Albus
No,
moved to a more
stop it.
secure...
This is all wrong. Weren't we supposed to be all ambiguous about that?
Originally, yes, but honestly, in the Genin translation, it sounded like you were either hiding pornography or just inhumanly protective about the result of your All-Brand challenge.
And make certain our load is taken to the safest place possible.
I can't believe our military is so useless.
You can't?
Well, no, never mind, I can.
Well, this ship is doomed. Let's steal anything that isn't nailed down.
But Lavie, that actually is sort of...
Ding, 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 ding.
What a time to spontaneously develop a sense of professional ethics.
I know. Stupid conscience.
Of course, the abridging.
Sir Batshit Thane, we have been surprised by a despicable Disith thrust in our rear, and the back end of our battle line has been torn wide open by the ferocity of repeated bombardment from the enemy's
That's very subtle sorties.
But instead of retreating in good order, chivalry demands that we lie here getting metaphorically sodomized like a slightly built prison bitch. This is for chivalry, honor, and probably valor and a jolly good...
Reach around?
Well,
Sorry,
that too if they
couldn't
resist.
resist. Left.
Right,
Right, the letter.
Wait, no,
Dear
why, you
Father,
little blackguards?
when are you planning on coming home? The olives are ripe on the trees, and Jeeves has bought lots of gin and
It's vermouth, idiot.
Yes, good times. Mother keeps telling me that none of her boyfriends is nearly as hung as... oh, wow, moving right along.
That perfidious bitch!
Wow, you nobles are
I mean, how dare they?
Oh, wait, here we go. Father, there are things important to you that I do not understand, like the ways of chivalry. Why is it called chivalry when, as far as I can tell, there's no such thing as a horse?
Stop pointing out continuity errors.
It's not my fault, it's in the letter. I want to hear about the horse, so I do.
Really?
No, but we're all going to die anyway, so what the hell? The only mention I've heard about horses was when Mother said, "Oh, Jesus, not again." Anyways, to wrap it all up, she says to please bring back lots of dead bodies with you. And then there's a picture that I could have died happily having never seen.
I don't expect children to understand the ways of chivalry.
Well, it obviously has nothing to do with the ways of numerical advantages, fire superiority, and the tactics of surprise, shock, and outflanking.
Doesn't it ever bother you that even a 15-year-old girl has a better understanding of tactics
the only
than our
deception
admiral?
you guys can manage is fooling
He's not
yourselves
even
into
mentioned
thinking
it.
that you're in any way qualified to lead men into battle.
I'll show you that chivalry is superior to tactics, by jingo. All ships are prepared to advance slowly into the shooting solution of the entire Disith battle line. Now do your best, chappies, and give them what for before we all die in a terrible, crushing, fiery...
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and
Wow, that
fuck
was
the
surprisingly
prom
lucid.
queen. Brave Vanship pilots, I want you to tell my daughter that I'll be coming home soon, and that she'd better have my favorite drink waiting when I do.
All right.
And make sure to remind her that it's shaken, not stirred.
Is that all?
There could be only one.
And there it is. Thanks for the help, random extra who I'll probably never see again.
Lavie, that was 200 proof rum. I used that for cleaning engine parts.
Whoops. Well, at least he'll be off his face when they get sunk.
Blarney, that's the stuff.
Sir, permission to deploy the Deus Ex Machina. Sure, why not?
Why didn't you break me out of here?
Hey kid, do I look like I'm made of money and good intentions?
You ass! Take me, Jeeves. Take me in a manly fashion.
Not once, madam.